I could put you in the brig for what you've done, but I won't do it.
What the hell's going on out here?
Roma says that Alaska is overrated.
I think, in a way. I mean, as a vacation, I some people love it, I guess. I'm not into putting a sweater, coat, a hat on as a vacation. I mean, a vacation should be t-shirt, shorts, and
what about a ski vacation?
But ski, that's nice. But you know what everyone says, and it's true. The best part is the lounge, the lodge, and the bar. That's the best part of skiing. You get back into a nice toasty lodge. You have a nice, an old fashioned in front of the fire, and you talk about skiing. That's the best part.
But those views when you're up there in the mountain and that cold air is on your face and you can see for 100 miles in each direction.
It's nice. I'm not saying it's not nice. I just said it's a little overrated.
Al hates
this
Alaska.
Picture, I don't hate.
You hate Alaska.
I'm not hating Alaska.
He hates Alaska.
We have a couple of listeners in Alaska. I'm not hating on it. I'm just saying, it's a little overrated. But look at the scene. That's behind me. If you're on the Patreon, of course, I took this picture, and you can see it's beautiful.
There's a reason why they call it one of the last frontiers. It's a pretty amazing place.
Have you seen the women of Alaska, by the way? Have you ever looked around and noticed the ladies of Alaska?
I thought those were dudes.
They are. He knows where I'm going at all times. I love it.
Yeah, there's some lovely ladies in Alaska,
I haven't seen them yet.
They've been snatched up and they're being held as captive.
They're being no kidding. And they're not allowed to breed. Obviously,
we just lost our 2 listeners in Alaska. Thank you.
There's nothing happening in Alaska. Oh, it is boy. Even the men are. Everyone's. It's tough. It's tough sledding out here, literally. So you gotta, you gotta live with that. I guess it's hard living. So hey, you didn't do an intro, man. Who are we? Where are we? What's happening? Give us the intro, buddy.
Talking Dicks Comedy Podcast. We're a podcast that spun off from the web series The Two Dicks, which you can find on YouTube and various other platforms. But we're the Talking Dicks Comedy Podcast. I'm Al Ducharme, and I'm going to be in Studio City today. And that is Al Romas somewhere in Alaska. I'm not sure which port. He just took that photograph that's behind him. As you're on the Patreon, you can see it. If you're listening to us, you cannot see it. And if you want to see it, go to patreon.com/the two dicks, $5 a month. You get prizes, you get special videos, you get extras, and it helps support us.
And you'll get to see our first Two Dicks episode in 2.5 years. We're going to premiere it whenever it's ready, of course, on the Patreon. They'll see it before anyone else will, the Patreon members. And it's exciting. First episode in many a year. And we're doing some promotion now with pictures, and boy, it just looks great. It was, seeing John Bazar and John Caponera and Bernadette Pauly and Kelly, my girlfriend. It was great. Everyone really stepped up. Frank Del Pizzo, everybody we asked to be in it nailed it, except one person.
Me and you?
No,
that's 2 people.
No, our blind director.
Ricky.
We had a director
Ricky
who wore 3 pairs of glasses.
Ricky D's eyesight has been falling off.
It's not good.
It's not good.
It's not good. Yeah, we got Mr. Magoo to direct.
Vegas Dicks, pretty much. And I love Ricky. He just shot a short film himself, but he had like a full crew. Yeah. I think it was a full feature.
Oh, good.
And he had a full crew. They had big HD monitors. Here's the thing about Ricky D, which I didn't know about, and I love this guy to death. And he's definitely stepped up in the past for me. He
needs a dog.
I had a monitor. I had a 7-inch monitor on top of the camera. I said, Ricky, is this overkill? He goes, yeah, get rid of that. I didn't know that he had no sight. I go, Ricky, how's the focus? He goes, it looks great. And he goes, where are my glasses? He's patting himself. Where are my glasses?
3 pairs.
Three people
3
go,
pairs.
dude, there's 3 pairs. They're on your top of your head. He had 3 pairs. He had sunglasses. He had fucking,
Oh my God.
I don't know. He had blind people glasses. He had reading glasses.
Mm,
And
yeah.
I love him to death, but I had no idea. So the
Yeah.
point is, there's footage that's really good dialogue,
Yeah.
great acting, and it's out of focus. So now I got to
Rick,
kind of,
we get one.
it just
we get
doubles
one
my work.
chance in Vegas. We
Yeah,
had
'cause
one
now I have
chance
to-
in
yeah.
Vegas.
Yeah. I have to go in and
We
I have
got
to
a guy who
take
can't see.
audio and stick it somewhere where we're reacting to it, but we're not looking at the guy or the person delivering the lines. It adds like 20 hours to my editing.
Yeah.
And of course, I made the mistake
Ugh.
of sending you some footage, just experimental. I just threw a bunch of things up.
I
Throw
loved it.
some backdrop.
I loved it.
I don't know about that.
What?
I said, have an open
loved
mind. This
it.
is just a test photo. I'm just throwing it up there.
I
I'm
said
not,
I loved it.
I said I have to fine tune it. Dude, that's not what you said. You said, scrap that shit. That's going on the cutting room floor. We're not releasing that the way it is. Don't you give me that. You're lying son of a gun.
Never said any of
And
that.
I said, I can't believe I sent him a sample. What you do is you do the entire
Send me a
full rough-
sample. Send me a sample.
I
please.
sent him a sample. Just he goes, "What's that casino going to look like?" Because we used green screen. We didn't bother trying to
I
shoot.
did. None of this is true, by the way. None of this is true.
You hate Alaska.
You sent me the clip.
You hate
You
Alaska.
sent
That
me a
says it all.
clip.
Right
I go,
there.
it looks great.
I hate
I go,
Alaska.
it looks great.
Overrated.
I don't hate Alaska.
You do.
Overrated.
All
It's
the
a-
men.
It's a
look like-
little over.
All the men look like women, and the women look like men. Can't tell them apart.
It's a little overrated. I got to be honest.
It's not your
If
thing.
you want, I want to have a cigar. I want to have a cigar. Okay, it's 50 degrees out. I mean, that's not. Is that comfortable? Is that a comfortable vacay?
You've
No,
been
I'm not
living
on
in
vacation.
Tampa,
I'm
Florida for
working.
25 years. That's why.
I know. I love it.
It's unbelievable.
Why,
It's
Why would you go
unbelievably
anywhere?
humid and
There's no
hot.
reason to
We
leave.
shot episodes there. We're in your garage. It was horrible. And then you text me, go, dude, I took care of the air conditioning in the garage. What happened? How do we? Oh my God, we lost you.
I'm gonna swap it out.
What are you swapping? What are you swapping? He's an idiot. What are you doing?
hold on. Hold on. Hold on.
The hell's
Hold on, you
He's-
motherfuckers.
he's pulling out wire. You didn't dump that old microphone?
All right, Alfredo, I'm back, buddy.
Did you swap out microphones?
I'm such a pro. I brought 2 all the
But
way
one-
to Alaska.
One's dead.
Yeah, but it's come back. It had been coming back, and now I don't know which is the bad one. Now I do, of course. Now that one's the bad one. But it worked again. So I have 2. So I had
Throw
to
that shit
travel
out.
with 2. I will. I'm gonna throw that shit out. But as of now, I brought 2. I'm very proud of myself to have thought of that and brought the other one, because that could have been a disaster right
If you-
there
it brought the
on the
broken one.
talking decks.
Yeah.
If I
Well,
just brought the broken, which was working, working fine till we just crapped out. But we're back and all good.
Right.
So yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I forget what we were talking about at that point. Oh,
Huh?
maybe the blind director. I don't remember.
Yeah. Let's move on from that. So
Let's
here's the
move
deal.
forward. Yeah.
You're in Alaska. Which port are you in right now?
I'm in the port of Sitka, which people might remember was Sarah Palin comes from here. You can see Russia from
That's
right where I am.
Skagway. You're wrong. Correction. That is Skagway.
No.
Her
Maybe,
family would summer in Skagway.
Well, she lived in Sitka. That's where she could see Russia. Would you like to put a few dollars on that? I would enjoy that.
Well, then are we both right?
Taking-
So her main
She
home
might have
was in
s- I-
Sitka, and then she summered in
Well,
Skagway.
I don't know where she summered. I'm saying she's from Sitka. It's like
She was
you're from
born?
Rhode Island. You can summer in goddamn Bermuda, but you're
Why would you
from
summer
Rhode
in
Island.
Skagway?
Well, I don't. Why would
If
you
you're living in
live in
Sitka.
Alaska? For God's sake, why would you live in Alaska? I would turn 5 and go, this fuck it sucks, and take a flight to Tampa and get a car service to Clearwater and get myself a grouper sandwich at Rockaway's and have a Mai Tai and enjoy life. Wouldn't live here in the cold. It's hard. This is hard living, man. You know what I mean?
I guess you're right. Did you ever
Yeah.
see the movie The Proposal? Rom
The
com.
Proposal.
Yeah.
Who's in that?
Ryan Reynolds, the late Betty White. And
Oh yes, I did see that.
and what's
I
her
think I
name
did
there?
see that.
The famous actress. Shit. Oh,
Was that Sandra Bullock?
Sandra Bullock. Jesus Christ. I think she produced it too. Yes, there was she was Canadian and her paperwork had run out. So she had to marry her assistant who she just fired,
Yeah,
which was Ryan Reynolds. It was cute. And
Cute movie.
they're speaking with they're being interrogated or questioned by the officer who is the immigration officer. And she knows none of the background on Ryan Reynolds' character. And his family was born and raised in Sitka. His whole family's from Sitka, Alaska.
Oh,
She's Canadian. And he goes, so where are you from? Or where do you live? Where's your family from? And he says, Sitka. And she goes, Sitka, Alaska. And she goes, Sitka? Because she doesn't know. She's never heard of it before. It's a very funny scene. And that's where you
doesn't
are right
sound
now.
funny. Oh,
Which,
yeah, where I
ironically,
am.
was shot in Western Massachusetts on a lake.
God damn it. They're liars. They lie.
Sons
These
of
Hollywood.
bitches. Hollywood.
These Hollywood types lie. Hey, he was good, by the way, on that new Letterman thing on Netflix. I don't know if you saw Letterman interviewing people. I think it's called People Who Need No Introduction. But Ryan Reynolds, that was good. Good interview with him, and made me think of you. I think I sent you a picture because he's cooking pizzas in his pizza oven. Well, for Letterman,
yes.
and Letterman makes fun of him the whole time. He goes, "This looks terrible, and I don't want to eat this."
But he ended up
But he's very
scuttling it, right?
Very proud of it. Yeah, he burned it a bit, little burnt, but I like that char at the bottom. So
that's the Neapolitan. You wanted a little charred.
New York City pizza always had that blackish bottom thing that I enjoyed. But anyway, that's a good one, Letterman. And then on Netflix, also, if people haven't seen yet, you got to see the Norm special. Norm Macdonald taped
Postmortem.
50-minute stand-up sitting in front of his computer, no notes, 50 minutes just off his running it through his head out. It's unbelievable. So great.
Really?
To see Norm. Yeah, it's really good. The material's hilarious and he's great. And he was going in for a big procedure the next day and then literally just never, did much anything after that. But this was recorded and right the day before the procedure. And then at the end of it, they have Letterman and Spade and Chappelle and Sandler. I mean, all the, big dogs talking about it. They had just watched it together and then they talk about it. And it's good. Very good. But the special's really good. I mean, the material.
I will have to definitely check that out. Can you hold on 1 second? Paulie.
Yeah. Come on. When did
I left my coffee downstairs. Would you retrieve it for me? I apologize.
I heard her coughing. I heard COVID.
Do you have the COVID? Al could hear you coughing.
Yeah. I hear
you have the COVID?
Good. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So what happened to the coffee? Bernie? Bernadette Pauly.
Sal's wife in the background.
I think she died. Hello?
Well, oh.
My
She doesn't sound
cat.
nice. She doesn't sound happy.
She said my cat just laid on my chest. She doesn't want to move.
Well,
Well,
you can't move a feral cat. You know,
I don't know where it
they're
is.
used to such a comfortable life. I mean, who would want to ask a feral cat to move? You know, they're so spoiled.
He is.
The thing was licking pavement a month ago. Now you guys have him.
It's funny now. He's an indoor cat, but we let him out, but we have to chaperone him when he's out in the
There's a lot
driveway.
of. Well, you gotta tell the woman keep it down in the background. Come on now. Who wears the pants in this family? What's going on here?
Thank you, darling.
Oh, fucking
I appreciate it.
Awful.
I thought there was. I thought there was more than that. I wouldn't have made you get it.
The cat had to be moved for that amount of coffee.
I thought it was half full.
I wouldn't have moved that cat. Cat deserves to not be moved for that little amount of coffee.
Where is it? There it is.
Coffee.
Well, look at that. Look. See, if you're on the Patreon, you could see this
That's kind of
wild
cool.
cinematic thing I'm doing here. Pretty cool.
Cinema
Anyways,
Verte, I believe that's called. So yeah, that's really good. And one more recommendation for the people, if you're listening and you're interested in watching Bosch Legacy on Amazon. Bosch, the great Bosch, is back. 10 episodes, Bosch Legacy, and that's all on Amazon Prime, the whole season. It was great. Loved it.
They changed the title, or they added legacy on it?
It's a different show. They added because he left the LAPD.
Oh, well, don't.
Bosch,
I haven't seen any
and
of
then
it. I don't want you to ruin
Oh,
it.
Legacy. Yeah, Legacy starts up. He's a private dick.
That's
in
our
LA.
story. He's ripping us off. The two dicks.
No.
We get fired from the
That's our
Newark
story.
Police Department, and we open up our own private detectives agency in Boston, and then Florida.
That's what. Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
now, in order to get our jobs back, we have to go to Vegas and bring back an embezzler who stole all the money from the Newark Public Library funds. And
That's right.
That's how it all worked out. But we're not going to tell you exactly what happened. We just have an all-star
So
cast.
we should have been Two Dicks Legacy. Could have been a title of our third season. This is our third season, I believe. I think if you go,
it's season 3.
we had full season. We had 2, and then this will kick off season 3. And enjoy the episode when it comes out, because we don't know when the next one could be.
Did you know
schedule is, you know.
Did you know that
Who
season
knows?
3 of the podcast is soon? Are
No.
we waiting for
I missed that meeting.
volume number 200? Isn't that going to be the third season,
Oh yeah.
or the completion of the second
and this
season?
And this is volume. Where are we here?
188.
188. Holy shit!
There's actually a couple more than that, but we ditched them. We did the Facebook Live.
Court order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
We need
outlawed in
another one of
52
those.
states, and there's and it's only 50.
We got to try to. See, people. They want to step. That's the joke. We hope they got it, and probably didn't. But anyway, Bosch Legacy, really good, and it's just him, his daughter, and the lawyer, Honey Chandler. That's the 3. But then they bring in a couple cameos from the show, and very well done. Good stuff. Enjoyed it.
Well, I'm going to start that as soon as I finish.
I've seen
Longmire.
everything. Yeah, you should. I should go back and redo Longmire. It was worth it. But
if you
I'm out of
redo
things
it,
to
I'll
watch.
do it with you.
Hey now.
How
Best
many
offer I've had
episodes
in
are there total?
days.
Are there 60 episodes? 70 episodes? Is it 100?
I don't know. I don't think it's 100, but it's quite, because I think there's 7 seasons, and I think there were at least
10.
10.
So that's 70.
I'll put 70-ish. So it's quite a bit.
That's a lot.
It's quite. I don't understand. I never even understood the Longmire journey, where it was doing great on, I think, AMC. It was like a hit. They loved it. I don't know, maybe a money thing, and they were like, yeah, we can't do any more Longmires. And then people were like, fuck that, bring it to Netflix. And they wrote
picked it up.
a petition, and they picked it up and did a couple more seasons. I don't know. It seemed like AMC missed the ball on that one. You got to hit, keep it.
Well, I think that they had The Walking Dead and they had Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad.
Those were the two that
that's where the money went.
Busted it open.
Yeah, then they probably the budget. It's like, look, it's good, but it's not that making it. It's not Breaking Bad.
And they made money. They made money on it, selling it to Netflix. So.
Did you watch Better Call Saul this season?
Yes.
The Breaking Bad.
Not this season.
So no would have been the answer to my question.
Well, I heard, did you watch Better Call Saul? And that's when I answered.
Well,
then you said this
you
season.
Jumped the gun, sir. You jumped.
I jumped it.
They split it in half. So they gave you 6 or so.
Yeah, they did that with
take a break. Come back in July.
They did that with a few other episodes. They did that with the Ozark as well. But
at AMC, it's weekly. They don't dump them. Like giving us the 6.
Yeah,
in July.
I think the dumping them all at once is a disservice to viewers. I don't like it. I like making people wait, and then after they've all aired, then you can binge watch them.
Oh,
like Officer Family was dumped. They dumped all the episodes at once, and people banged them out. And it's like, why do we have to wait another year and a half? It's like, grab that 10 weeks of weekly.
No, that's a good point.
And then let people binge after that. That way you get that extra.
There is it is a long
months.
build up. It's like, oh, Ozark's going to be on, and then you watch them. You could knock them out in an evening. No, it's over.
No, Ozark did not do that.
2 years or whatever. So
no, they did.
They
weekly.
didn't dump them.
Ozark, they did weekly. I think
originally, I thought Netflix dumped them all.
Oh, maybe they did. I remember
when they split it, but
yeah,
I don't remember exactly now.
With Breaking Bad, was that Breaking Bad?
That was weekly.
Because they picked these up. You could watch Breaking Bad on Netflix after one season on AMC. Yeah,
right.
That's how they would do it. I don't even know if they're doing that anymore because AMC has their own app now and whatnot.
Well, we're gonna do that. We're gonna dump the episode on Patreon, and then after a day it'll bug us and we'll release it everywhere. But we will put it first on the Patreon.
Yes, we're going to give our Patreon members first dibs at viewing it. You're saying 24 hours? Shouldn't we do it 48 or 72?
I'm kidding. But yeah,
should we say, hey, if you can't wait for it, we should do a week. If you can't wait for it, join the Patreon, only $5 a month, and see it.
You could see the new episode and get yourself a coaster or a mug at the same time, and have access to every pod we basically have done. I mean, our library now on the Patreon is pretty. We were talking about it in Vegas, man. Like I bring it up a lot, but so many podcasts was started during COVID, and I remember them, the names. I knew the guy, and I look back, and they're all gone. Nobody continued. None of them continued. Literally, all the guys like young guys, they do it, but guys our age, they started shit and they never finish it, and that's always the case.
They say 80% of podcasts will not make it to 50 episodes. Think about
it. I mean,
80%.
Oh, I believe. I'm on Twitter. I follow a couple of these podcast things, and they make these people. It seems like they put out one every other month. I mean,
it's hard.
They're so slow with shit. I got a podcast coming up in 3 weeks. It's like, okay.
Well, we figured out a method, and it took us trial and error to figure it out. My favorite is the one that takes the longest, and that's in front of my big screen TV in my living room. But now we've, we streamlined it. It's here. We're using Zoom. It fits our needs it's because you and I travel so much and we travel around the globe. But
I
I
have
will
tremendous
say,
needs.
when we did the PodTrack 4, Zoom PodTrack 4 in Vegas with Caponera,
Yeah.
the sound and the
Oh,
ease, it went right to my computer. It was glorious. It was so easy. And the quality was top notch.
You can't beat the quality if you haven't heard that episode. And John Caponera, just, these whole, the guy's been around he went to the Comedy Store in the late 70s, I believe it was. So he's been around, stories, everything. But yeah, it was nice to just sit down, pick up a microphone and go. It was pretty sweet. And it came out great. So if you haven't heard that one. And that was a good week with John. Like I said, I can't, I can't wait for people to see him nail this thing. That guy it was great. Hopefully it's in focus, some of it.
Yeah. Well, what I'll do is I'll put up a separate short of all the great acting in Out of Focus.
Yes, that's
in Out of Focus. I don't know if you caught that or not.
In Out of Focus. I got you. In Out. Mm-hmm. Good burger.
In and out.
Yeah.
What are you drinking?
We should do this is a Perrier.
Perrier.
I'm a fancy man.
You don't drink Perrier.
Perrier.
What are you doing?
Oh, I love a Perrier.
Is this influenced by Kelly, your girlfriend? You are a different man.
She's anti carbonation.
Oh, she is.
Not a fan.
Not a fan.
Carbonation.
Flat.
And when I met her, if you don't know our brief little story, when I met her, on the ship, and we FaceTimed and texted for 5 months, and then I went to meet her in person after 5 months. I'm going to meet this woman who I've been talking to every day, literally every day, and I picked up a really nice bottle of champagne. I got a real good shit. So I get the real good shit. I go to the condo, and she's great. She looks great. We're getting along, everything, because we know each other. There's no weird pressure.
Mm-hmm.
I pop the champagne. She's sipping it, but I'm like thinking to myself, this is like $100 champagne. You should be enjoying this. And she's like, yeah. And then, of course, 2 weeks later, she's like, I don't really like anything carbonated. I'm like, oh, why did you say? But it's like that first time, so you can't say anything. She was just like, good, very good. Meanwhile, in her head, she's like, I fucking hate champagne. So no more champagne.
It was almost a done deal right then and there when you pulled that thing out. First of all, amateur move.
Hey, what?
Amateur move. You don't open
What's that, sir?
You hold it up and go, hey, do you like bubbly?
Uh-huh.
Or do you want regular, and do a little backup?
Right.
You went, did you get the Veuve Clicquot? What did you get?
Yes, I believe it might have been
orange label.
Could have been White Star.
Oh, that's racist.
White Star.
Yeah.
I think it was the champagne from the Titanic. I think that was what they drank there. It was pricey. I can get talked into anything. This is from the Titanic. This is straight from the Titanic. I want it.
You were trying to impress her, and it was almost
and she didn't like it.
Dead in the water. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, it went nowhere. The expensive bottle of champagne was, and then she's like, I don't know. Because I a week later I had a club soda, and I go, would you like one? She's like, I don't really like carbonation. I go, oh, what about champagne? She's like, yeah, not really. I go, why don't you say something? She's like, no, I could drink it. I don't really like it. So anyway, long story short, the Perrier, not influenced by Kelly. It's something I enjoy on my own.
It's anti-Kelly, actually. An anti-Kelly beverage.
Yeah, if you want to put it that way. Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah, man.
But she still she stuck it out, and you guys are together. That's cool.
A year.
I didn't make any joke about sticking it out.
Hey, a year or so now. So it's pretty good. It's pretty not bad. But and she's in the ep, and your wife Bernadette Pauly is in the ep. This is a big cast.
It's a bit much.
Fucking cast.
It's a bit much. But I wanted to make it, something significant after a 2.5 year hiatus.
Exactly. It was funny, like during it was, it was a lot of long days. There was a lot going on. And then after it was done, I just thought, man, the next one I want to do, next 2 days, let's go back to like the early days. Put a camera on a table and let's just improvise. It was easy and fun.
Bullet points and go.
Yes.
It's funny because back to the green screen and the putting the camera on a tripod or on that monopod with the sandbag. With the green screen, when you guys decided, why did I allow this to happen? I don't know. When Rick was doing handheld, and then I going, oh, you're doing handheld, let me get them. And you went, yeah, do some handheld, break it up. When you're doing green screen and you do handheld, I think the entire environment is moving around. It's moving around. So I hate you two, because in my gut, I'm like, no, don't put it on sticks. Don't let them decide, because you're the one who's editing. But
right.
Yeah, so I hate both of you for that.
I just thought at the moment, I didn't think about greens. I just thought in the moment, some movement is good. Like we had one where we shot an episode, and remember you come in the garage, and we had handheld. I held the camera on that, went up the stairs, and it looks good to just break it up. But what I'm talking about, we didn't have green screen,
right?
So didn't really think about it. But between you and Rick, who guy made a real movie. One of you should have known that the green screen blurs. I mean,
it doesn't blur. Just it moves. It moves out of sync with the image you have. And,
that's a blur. Yeah,
it's all in focus.
Well, this should be some. This is some promotion we've done for this episode. Got to be honest. The new 2 dicks. You got to see it, folks. Blurry.
See all the flaws fixed in post. There's going to be a few people that are going to be very briefly in it, because we just don't have it.
Oh.
To our excuse, we were shooting in a hotel room, and at one time we had 6 or 7 people in the hotel room trying to shoot 3 or 4 people on screen. It was tough.
It was tight. And it's makeshift. I mean, we're making it, covering stuff up or whatever with just on the fly. Oh, that TV, that didn't exist in 1955. You got to cover the TV.
Yeah,
get rid of shit.
The 40-inch television didn't exist in 1950. The flat screen.
No. What are we in? We in 55? The
55 or 56? Yeah, something like that.
Are we going into? I think we'll have to. Yeah, we want to do COVID time. Then we probably 2 years. But now, got to stay linear with it. So I think 55 was our time. We got fired, and but in the long run, it'll all be good. And just be good to have another episode out there, because we have people who listen to the podcast. I don't know if they even know what the 2 dicks basically is. Why are you talking? I get that all the time. I mean, why is it called Talking Dicks? And it's like,
yeah, they jumped on
you never
board.
heard it, obviously, because we say it in the beginning of the show. It's a spinoff of the web series, The 2 Dicks.
And behind me is our little logo.
Our logo. And shout out to Jimmy Carroll. He's not, I wouldn't say under the weather. I asked him how he's doing. I wonder if he was out on ships working. I haven't seen anything, but he's having a few issues. It sounds like he said he was negative for COVID, but he's got some of that COVID after effects. So he's been dealing with vaccine? That. But I don't know. I didn't get into details. He just said he was negative for COVID, but he's having some of those kind of after effects of COVID.
He contracted COVID, recovered.
No, he did not. He said he didn't. He said he was been negative with COVID, but he has something that feels like
maybe it's unrelated.
Afterwards, like could be unrelated, exactly. But he's under the weather,
Oh, I'm sorry, Jimmy
shout out
Carroll.
to Jimmy Carroll.
Feel better.
That's Jimmy's work, our logo, and and also our Talking Dicks comedy podcast logo. The microphone we use. That's the work of Jimmy Carroll. Check him out. Funny comedian, artist, photographer. He has some great stuff on his Facebook page from Alaska, where he went hiking with a,
You know why?
really
'Cause
nice
he loves
camera.
Alaska. He loves it. Unlike you, where you hate it.
Oh yeah, it was a lot.
You've been there for 4 days. And you're like, it's overrated. How long are you there for? 2 weeks? Are you there for 2 weeks?
Yeah, but we also go to Canada. I go to Canada.
You're going to go to Victoria,
Canada.
Go to Chinatown if you want some good Chinese food. Whether you're in Victoria, which is Vancouver Island, or the city of Vancouver, just across the waterway, go to both Chinatowns. And if you like the real authentic Chinese food. And
Me love you long
Vancouver
time.
City is the sister city to Hong Kong. Did you know that?
Vancouver City, I didn't know that, is the sisters. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's one of my favorite cities. I've been in
I
both.
love Vancouver. That is great city.
Stanley Park.
Great.
I
don't know him.
Get off the ship and walk around. That's a nice port. If I can remember the elevator code, there's an elevator you can take and you avoid all the passengers and you go right up and out underneath them. Remind me to try to get that to you. I got to look it up.
I'll need that code.
I'll need that code.
I'll need that code. And
all right, what else is going on? What do we want to talk about? Any current events? What's happening?
Did you catch the whole Depp? Did you watch the end of the Johnny Depp? Were you one of those people watching it?
Did not do the. This
either.
was not my O.J. Simpson trial. I watched a lot of the O.J. Simpson.
A lot of people, though. A lot of people. I mean, millions upon millions watching it. Loved it. I did. I followed just some of the videos that were out there. It was kind of funny.
I watched the coverage, like the snippets.
Yeah.
I've been watching the championship, the NBA championship games. And that is the Golden State Warriors and the Boston Celtics. And I'm a Celtics fan. Obviously, I'm a New England boy. So that's exciting.
That's good you haven't switched because you've been in California a while. A lot of these fuckers, John DeCrosta and others, rooting. I'm a Yankee fan. I'm at the Dodger game.
Well, I go to Dodger games. I'm not going to. I went to Yankee Stadium to watch games. I'm not going to go to Yankee Stadium because I lived in New York for 13 years.
You missed my point.
Did I jump the gun again?
He's a Dodger fan. He's a Dodger fan when he's in LA, but he's a Yankee fan. You got to be a Yankee fan. You wear Yankee hats at Dodger game.
Now, here's what I do. When my team is out of it, when the Red Sox are out of it, I tend to support the local team. I do that. But when the Patriots were out of it, I was a Tom Brady supporter of the Buccaneers. And I've been to stadium with you when John Gruden was inducted into the Ring of what's it called?
That never happened. It never happened. He's been removed already. The name
I know he was removed, but we were there. I know we were there when he was inducted. And now it's been expunged. He's been expunged from it.
From the Ring of Honor.
Ring of Honor. That's what it was. And so I had such a great time there with Dr. Joe and Joe Tarja and some of our other
Doug Tucker.
Yep.
Yep. But no, that's fine. I'm talking about I'll go to a Rays game and I love watching the Bucks, but I'm a Giant fan. You know what I mean? I like the Bucks. I want them to do well, but
when it comes down to Super Bowl, you want
I don't know
the Giants.
Any gear
You want your Giants to be in the Super Bowl. Yeah. But
of course, we're a long way off. That's not good. They're many years away. But where the Bucks have a good shot. So it's exciting to have anytime a guy like Brady comes to your town.
Brady's back. I hope it doesn't go
Yeah.
completely south on him with his abilities because that would suck.
It won't. It won't. But Tampa, I moved
45.
to Tampa. There was
He'll
no
be 45.
There was no when I moved to Tampa, there was no baseball team. Hockey was brand new, and the Bucks were the worst team of
They
football.
didn't have fucking electricity when you moved there, pal. You've been there a long time.
Tampa Bay Lightning going for a three-peat in
Wow.
sports. Fucking that doesn't even happen. Can you imagine if Chicago or New York or Boston had the Lightning and the way those fans would be going for a three-peat?
Oh, it's insane.
You know what I mean? Like Tampa, it's very laid back. We're like, it's great, we love it, and it's fans and it's packed. But man, if that was the Rangers or the Bruins,
Rioting in the
Hawks.
streets, whether they won or lost.
Unbelievable. Right. Yeah. Yeah, their
Tipping
team
cars
suck,
over.
and
Vancouver.
and the Rangers to me, they were nice. That was not. I mean, they won the first 2 games in New York, lost the next 2 in Tampa. Tonight, as we record, Game 5 in New York, I think the Lightning go right through them. I think that was, they peaked, and that get the fuck out of the way. We're going to the Cup, going to play the Avalanche in the Stanley Cup, and go for a three-peat.
Well, I
Who
hope they
coined
do
the
it.
term three-peat, Alfred?
I
Who
do
coined
not
it?
know. I do not know.
Oh,
What the fuck?
you disappoint. You disappoint.
Longmire.
That's an easy one. Pat Riley.
Pat Riley did? That's an easy one?
Coined the term three-peat. Well, when the Lakers, he did 3. He goes, yeah, we're going to three-peat. And then people were like, you better trademark that. That's yours.
I thought
So,
that
yeah,
was
he's
a
got 3-peat.
whore who had 3 guys named Pete in 1 hour.
It could have been that.
That was a
I
good
don't
pull.
know.
That was a good pull. That was off the cuff.
Good pull. That was a good pull. I left, and I think you could be right. Even. I don't know. I'm giving Pat Riley the credit. Maybe it was just a whore. Thinking of every time I hear that word whore, like Norm, I just laugh at Norm with the joke of why Vegas is so great because and he goes, that slogan, it's whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. He goes, I used to think that was like about gambling. And he goes, it's fucking. They mean fucking. And you can fuck one of our whores in Vegas and it stays quiet. They're not like those gossipy whores in those small towns. At the beauty parlor with that big metal thing on their head. You know who I fucked last night? Your husband. I was fucking your husband. That's why you go to Vegas.
I have to check out all those things that you assigned to me.
Yeah, you have assignments, sir.
I do.
In between your editing of the 2 dicks.
Oh my God, it's
Vegas
so many hours.
Vegas dicks.
Oh, I have a delivery coming. Let's wrap this up.
What? What do you got? What do you got coming?
I've got
Amazon.
I have Amazon, and I actually ordered Fresh Direct, which is
What's that?
Amazon Whole Foods.
What?
I have Amazon. Fresh Direct. Amazon bought Whole Foods, so now they have this warehouse.
Oh, I did.
That it's a little cheaper than Whole Foods, but it comes directly. So I fuck it. I'm having my groceries delivered because I was podcasting.
Fuck it. Fuck it.
Fuck it.
I got Patreon money. I get my food delivered.
Oh, by the way,
I didn't even go out.
We got
I get my food delivered here.
By the way, John Bazaar refused to accept our lunch. I was going to give him lunch money. He refused to accept it. He will not let me send it. I asked, what's the best way? I'm like, what the fuck?
Wow.
So how would you, can I just send him an email? I don't think he has PayPal or Venmo.
Right.
What happens if you send somebody? They have to open up an account, right? Is that the whole thing?
Yeah, you know what you do? Just send them the amount that was as an Amazon card. He gets it in the email, and they can go on Amazon and buy anything he wants.
I think we have to send it to Nancy because I think he's totally off the radar.
Well, send it to Nancy then, his wife, and she can do whatever she wants with it. But yeah, maybe an Amazon card, as an email. That might work.
John was so good, man. I know. Let's say it again. John and John, both Johns. Everybody was great, but we had no script for John Bizarre. We just told him what we wanted him to do. He goes, okay, I got it. And he goes, and it's so free. It's so in the moment.
It's really, you see him he's playing craps, but his facial expressions are just fantastic. I mean, and he's standing in front of nothing.
And he's creating this whole world.
Dice. There's no dice. We have nothing. He literally is standing there in front of a camera, and we're like, all right, you're at a craps table and you're winning a lot of money, and
throw some dice.
Go.
He goes, go. And you saw the little mini edit I did with the dice rolling.
With the rice. I saw the rice too. I
saw the rice too.
Weird, but
yeah, well, he does that at weddings. He throws the rice, but he's throwing the dice. And when his hand goes out of frame, you'll see dice rolling on a craps table. And I want a little credit for that. For the editing.
Well, that was a beautiful edit there, Alfred.
But the point is John creates all this energy. So now I believe that he's actually in a casino. Because it's all happening in his eyes, his face, the energy, the aura around him. It jumps out.
I had no idea. I
told you that.
I mean, I knew he was a good comic. But I didn't know he was gonna fucking commit a rocket like that.
I knew it.
It was great. It was great.
Because you're like, well, if they can't make it, we can get anybody to do that. I go, no, you don't understand. If we get John Bizarre, if we can capture that lightning, right. And we got it.
Your wife has COVID, by the way. Just so
I know she's been coughing. Like, hey, enough with the COVID. I got to take a test.
The whole podcast, she's been hacking it up back there, and
the COVID cast.
Well, but if you look at as we always say, and it's so true, we're the weakest link. Our actors, Helen Keeney comes in, fucking home run. Danny Bevins, John Peasy,
Artie Januario.
Artie Januario, and then Cap and
Frank
Bizarre,
Santarelli,
El Pizzo, Frank Santarelli.
Bernadette Pauly doing the two dicks and the woman.
The woman, great, just great. I mean, we got good people who these are good comics. So, and they always say comics are good actors, So I don't know. They just come in and nail it, and you and I stand there going, "Oh, fuck, all right."
Kelly put on that hat and the gloves, and she looked like she was from the 1950s. So she pulled it off as well.
Exactly.
Nice little tapestry.
Yeah.
All right, let's wrap this mother up.
It was fun.
We're gonna wrap this mother up. Gonna wrap this mother up. Wrapping it up. Wrapping it out.
Good luck in prison.
Iceberg Daddy. Don't forget to review us and rate us. It really helps.
The Talking Dicks became friends at a very young age, and the rest is history.
I'm losing my mind.
Patreon.com/The Two Dicks, which is named after our web series. This is the Talking Dicks Comedy Podcast. Thanks for tuning in.
What?
Done.
I didn't kill my wife. I don't care.
We'll fix it in post, you son of a bitch.
Okay, sure.
All right. Subscribe. Mary. This was a horrible mistake.
Go to patreon.com/The Two Dicks.
If you shoot me, you won't see a cent of that money. Why?
I think it ends on that. That's beautiful.